So I was trying to think about what I wanted to do the next video on, but I was looking at source had me look up the term, just a quick read on a cyber attack, and I was just saying how it's funny how tarot has taken over in the past couple of years or whatever. But I know that a lot of these girls are some of these particular groups that we're talking about with these so-called underworld or lower down kings. Now this does have something to do with Mexico, South America, Texas, the South, and things like this. But these people hovered around in the north and stole from the north to take it down south. So when we look back at some forms of slavery or something, this thing keep going on over and over again. And it just made me think about it's just craftier every time. It's just craftier every time. And then people say, oh, why was we in slavery or something like this? Again, if you even want to go with the narrative of all that most of these so-called black people was already here, if you wanted to go with that narrative, what the fuck did they do? That's what I'm saying. It's like you have to be able to see the patterns here. Why were some of these kings and queens so ruthless? Because these people were secretly ruthless with them. So I can see why Caucasian people might have even, some of these people, could have had gifts that's more powerful than the groups of people that they were reigning over. But it's almost like when we talk about the beginning of empires, if these children get lost or estranged or they get raised amongst their enemies or something like this, or one day they're going to stand above the people that they're raised amongst or something like this. Excuse me. By the time that child gets to that age, I feel like with me, the people in that community have already eaten everything up of that child. Anything that was secretly being sent to that child or saved for that child, they're misplacing it, hiding it, stealing it, taking it, moving it, siphoning your energy, sending people in, raping, pillaging, molesting, everything like this. Like I said, most of this shit be done in the dark. I feel like if you highly anointed, they have to do it in the dark. They have to do it in a dark manner. There's several different ways of doing this: mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, technology, whatever this is. Okay. If you're not, these are the people that probably had physical situations in their life that they can remember when they were raped at the age of 5, or remember when their daddy was touching on them at the age of 12, or something like this. But if you're highly anointed, they would have had to brainwash, or I was hearing something about ketamine, or using different types of fentanyl or poppy seed back in the day in order to alter the memories of those particular children. Or like I said, these children are untouchable. When it comes to what I'm saying by that is saying, in your reality, you probably don't remember that much particular abuse. Maybe a yelling parent or something like this, somebody treating you different than the other kids or something, but you don't, these people were not hitting and going in on you like crazy. But in the spirit or in the dark, if you was raised amongst snakes or vipers or demons or something like this, they were going in on your ass. Or they had another version of you that's connected to you still that they was going in on. So when I'm talking about clones and stuff, know this. The 9-year-old version of you, when somebody did something to you to alter you, could still be out there, being passed around, brainwashed and passed to a different family so they can have that powerful version of you to dabble in or dig in that energy, okay? But if we're in a time right now where it's not what the people chose, they still, somebody could have even killed that version so that people can look to them. They were tired of sharing the space with you as two anointed people to have something in their blood or DNA that could help people. They could have siphoned everything that they needed from you and got rid of, like they're doing something about like some type of genocide. So genocide is not only just, like if some of us are these forever energies that we're spread around, a genocide could be on one lineage or one person is what I'm seeing here. Right? So the community or the families that I come from, they could have been harboring my energy or something like this. They have enough stored up for the next 100 years or something. They're going to be able to recreate mini me's or whatever this is. If I don't fall into line, it's almost like you have to surrender. Surrender for what? Being me? It doesn't, it doesn't make any sense. All the money that you're using and funding yourself with belong to me, or from the cause, or y'all took this company that was left over to me or these companies and you turn them into something for you. It's not going to happen. It's almost like God, just I don't even think it should be a flood of the nation, because the floods must didn't work that well all the time. It's like, you know, fire and brimstone. Because I feel like something about these water deities, they've been populating, or they've been doing something strange too. These water deities, like I said, even if we just talk, yeah, Two of Swords, and right out the gate. This is like a final, like, okay, you don't want to let me go through the process that the rest of the ancestors went through to be able to see the visions, or go through that, the dark night of the soul part that matters, so I can see what you did. You want to stop it when I see what the government did, the police, the third grade teacher. You don't want me to see what the own family did, the own community did. You don't want me to see how deep they went or how far they took it. Okay, then just obliterate the shit. Because when we're going to go back to that read in the house, but the queen is at the top now. Moses, a Lord God, some other people, like I said, the devil, or the darker ones, they're at the bottom. It's like, whatever this is, that no, you're not going to miss the way that they made this. The people that thought that they were so cool with technology and how they played and altered people's minds, and and that's why I said, if somebody want to sit there and act like America didn't just go through at least a 7-year cyber war, where the people that was just going to work every day and paying attention to what's on the news and watching TV and doing their daily beat, just trying to survive inflation and all this shit, would not even be, unless they're a different type of upgraded individual, they would not have even recognized this shit going on. So some of us, somebody else in another country already got your Social Security. They started a new life in another country, like you maybe were supposed to. Because that's what I'm saying. Once they get on you like this, they want you to give up your birthright and run off or something like this. 9 times out of 10, I guarantee you, the people that's doing this is the people that been stealing from your trust fund, or if you was a elite baby or a hidden royal, and these people's getting like $10,000 a month or $5,000 a month to take care of you, that they've been getting this since you say you 60 years old now. They've been getting this since you was a baby, and you didn't get none of it. And even if you was placed with a family or married into a family, which was some type of binding contract, the family started to get it. You didn't get it. You could have only got whatever you made or whatever your person shared with you. And it's like, I know how to stop that right there. A full-on investigation of every adult that signed off to be a guardian for my name, the hidden name, all the hidden names, or whatever they were doing, the hidden LLCs, whatever this is. Because some people feel like it's too late, because I told you, these people have been working with the government or the White House, I don't give a fuck who been in office, for at least the past 5 to 7 years, erasing and deleting all the shit that they did to one child. I'm telling you, this is like a treasure. This is like something about like a baby Oprah or some shit like this. They have been doing that against one child. I'm hearing that there was like a prophecy or a secret, again, about something behind, we won't say the treasury, but something behind the treasury. These people know what it is. Everybody was like, it's like when people were thinking about the, I don't know if there was COVID or something else was coming, and everybody was in the store buying up all the toilet paper, buying up all the shit, trying to hurry up and get it. It's just the same thing, but it's with people's intelligence, with their identity, with their trust funds, with their finances, with their inheritances, with these particular things here. So somebody is actually running a course here. First, they used to play these little reindeer devil games in the underworld, but then they rose up to the top and they got into the government, solidified something here. Okay? And now they think like they big bad Beetleborgs. Okay? They've been able to like accumulate a life of like the lifestyles and the rich and famous or something like this off of other people. So I was just thinking like, damn, is this what Moses, this is why they dropped down so far? Is this what the fuck the cartel is? They're not telling you what the cartel is what I just said. You just think that what I said, people talk about, oh, the cartel. I haven't seen no news anchor or nothing in anything that I've seen break down exactly what cartels are. Are they about cars? Are they about haunting people that tell? About transport? What is it about? Is it about drugs? Is it about rock and roll? What is, it's almost like the weapons of mass destruction. Anybody gonna open up this? Yeah, they have weapons of mass destruction. Nobody can still tell us. Most people cannot pull up an image of a weapon of mass destruction and show it to you. Okay. And if they do show you about the cartel, what they gonna show you? Some just look just like drug dealing. They're gonna show you some people open up a car or something with a whole bunch of drugs in the back and freely being able to move that shit from one place to another, kind of hiding their faces with handkerchiefs or masks or something like this. You're just gonna see that small portion of it, or you're gonna see a whole bunch of people being moved from place to place in the back of some vans or trucks or cargo ships or something like this. They're not really addressing or really breaking down what all is included in the cartel. A lot of shit is about what was happening hidden behind the scenes amongst anointed ones, or is more biblical or something or spiritual than you think. It's about obtaining American energy, oil resources, fossil fuels, things like this. Okay, while America think that they're being advanced, yes, that's why I say the strong delusion can be like, oh, we're going so far with AI, we're going so far with this and that. I mean, most people don't have general conversation about how deep does the AI go? What does that mean? Because I told you the only thing that I really know, I know there's different sectors of it. It's like when we be watching something, she's like, you know that's AI or that's fake. Because you can tell because the extra finger. So when we're talking about limbs, I put up some definitions yesterday within the past 24 hours. But when they say something about somebody with extra limbs or something like this can be also, like I told you, people putting on stuff on your credit, putting on stuff like this. Now, I was hearing that some people's identity, either way, is supposed to be guarded or sheltered, or it's supposed to be like a firewall on some of our identities or something like this. But that's why I feel like the families come in line, especially the ones that you haven't, like I told you, people been getting cloned. I don't care what you say about, I'm going to say in my situation, I don't know what goes on in the rest of the garden. Okay? See, because by the time the fourth or the fifth generationers are getting here, everything is already gone, so you really can't blame them for it unless they are just the first generationers or returning. And first generation, I'm talking about like the 80s people. Excuse me. If they're a new breed, then they would probably be the most innocent because by the time they got on the scene, everything is already stolen. But if, let's say that these are third generationers, or they're really the first generationers, they're just back putting themselves on the map with whatever power, advancements, positions, jobs, money, finances, loans, grants, or whatever that was supposed to come to you with rebuilding a particular part of the nation, or even the sun rising, or Shiloh coming and clearing out the garden of all of the snakes. Meaning some of these people have to go, but they've been building silently or secretly or simultaneously, we verbally speaking or dreaming these dreams and prophesying, saying things, all right? I feel like what they do is they detach or they separate, because somebody said you lost a parent. I didn't lose anything. I feel like I am my parent in this situation, if I really look at it, with the information I've obtained in the past. So these people putting guardians on somebody like me it would go against something spiritual, something tribal, universal law. It will go against the actual laws. It will go against the Takshanas laws. It will go against indigenous laws. A lot of laws, it will go against maybe even maritime laws, with the way that they let a couple of people from overseas come in and do the same thing and rape and pillage. This is not even about colonizers and nothing. There's a certain collective group of people that do this. And they come in all different skin tones and things like this. And they rob the poor before they come rich, or they rob the ones that's supposed to be coming into wealth before they can come into wealth. The ones that are righteous, that are going to make a change. And then they falter that change, or they've been promising this change all this time. And none of these men and none of these civil rights movements or nothing, like I said, that's insanity. So I feel like something they did with the civil rights is bring it back on another level, and they put it in the underworld. They just started to take or rob or get aggressive or something like this, but just not speak on it. This is something that somebody planned a long time ago. That's why I don't look at everything the same way. Whatever this is, it does start in the Middle East or the Midwest or the midst of the garden. And it did start with a bunch of people in this community or something branching out. They're trying to act like, no, no, you were not. You were not. Because somebody's saying, oh, you mad? That's like the third time I got that thing today. You mad? I don't give a fuck. You the one that lied. I didn't lie to anybody. You got people around you. Like I said, that's what I'm saying about this technology. I don't play with technology. But you got people around that you play with technology, that you taught them how to do something. And basically they sat next to you and then played that shit on you. Don't be mad at me. Because a lot of people, like I said, they get in their emotions. Told y'all how that shit work. Before somebody even really resonate with you saying. When I talk about black people and you think that I'm being mean or something like this, the shit that I say, it been needed to be said for a long fucking time. But people be so unhealed and so in their emotions, they go right to being upset or, oh, we could use our team to go attack that. I know that bitch didn't just say that about black people. It's something probably that you needed to hear. You know, we got rude and unethical so-called mothers and grandmothers and black women that was around us growing up and shit like this that said worse shit than that to you. And it was actually supposed to sound nice. Right? It sounded caring, like, I had to stop doing this. Stop jumping around before you fall down, bump your head, and then bust your head on the ground and blood all over the place. And I'm gonna have to take your stupid ass to the hospital. How many times do you see what I'm saying? So the effects or the affliction of these things is more than anybody, because most of the time, yes, there was a problem that they were showing us more encounters with police officers and so-called black people being, you know, manhandled or something in the community. But if you really think about it, you understand? It almost could be equivalent to the little kids that was getting dragged out or they was getting humiliating their mom or something like this, you know, in the hood or in urban areas, and she go outside and grab them up, twist them up in front of all their friends and beat them with the belt right in front of all their friends in the little circle, in the little square garden part, you know what I'm saying, of the projects or something, and then yell at you and drag you and yank you and call you all kind of names on your way in the house. And most of the time, people don't be like, come on now, Judy, you ain't got to do this to the child or whatever. People like, ooh, did you see such got his ass whooped out there? And they might even go laugh about it for the next couple of weeks. The person going to be humiliated, shit like this. So all I'm saying is, when people send me something like that, because you looking at me being tired or, you know, realizing how my energy has been dispersed while I've been on this planet, because some of us can't help it. We have been abused, misused, manipulated to a certain extent. We have been kept in the dark while people plucked off of us or drained us of our fucking energy. We didn't even know what was going on. Like I told you, this whole cyber thing, even with this dating, you hear a lot of tarot readers talking about dating or, oh, with your ex and stuff like this. These bitches that went and stole your whole identity. Crazy bitches. See, they not from here. We could just say alien in general. If you look up the definition, you could put it where it fit. Or they're estranged. They're not even supposed to be having a say-so here. You left. Y'all robbed and left a long time ago. Why are you even back here? Open up your mouth. These people, these are terrorists. They showed you what terrorists look like. What you thought with 9/11, the couple Arabic dudes on the airplane. That's not what the terrorists that you worried about, you should be worried about today look like. I'm so tired of these people. These are people that said they think that they, like, I don't know, witches or gods or something like this. They're just taking what they please. They think that they're giants or something like this. Gonna be brought down to their size. Brought back down to size. It's a mandatory. Now, if somebody got there in the right means or something, but a lot of these people did not. I find these people I don't know them, but I see that they're very familiar. So I can tell when I don't know somebody, but they know me, especially on social media. I know that black people own black people today. Mexicans own Mexicans people today. White people own white people. White people own black people. Black people own white people. Black people own Mexican people. These people have purchased motherfuckers. Period. And use them to do their crimes. I know that there's that there is some type of remote control viewing or something like this that goes a little bit deeper now. They're not just doing the same remote viewing that they was teaching them people how to do back in the 70s. Okay. Somebody could be thinking that they're doing a good deed, but there's attachments on those people that you're using, and the deed is not always good. Or what's a good deed to you and your people and your tricksters and your wanderers and your squatters and stuff like this may not be a good deed to me. Because anybody doing anything to anybody, that's somebody with their right mind. You could ask them yourself if you could do this to them, and they can answer you with their own self if you could do it to them or not. There would be no reason for a woman that I don't know from Adam to be calling herself my fucking guardian just because this person was like a first generation. I call them the one celebrities, because a lot of times I'm picking up, because this was a soft hijack. A lot of these people that was brought into like a celebrity status or something, we know what like Kendall and Kylie looked like when they first came on the scene. Some of these people are out there still they're out there in the world living a lesser life. A clone is what you watching, or an idol. So this, I don't know why people be getting mad, because don't worship idols. That means you're giving your energy onto something that ain't even that person. Even your mother and your fathers and shit, some of them already swapped out. For the people the death or paper genocide, or this particular type of genocide, is, even if you're immortal, it's not to take your life. That's why they leave, and people still living on just hopeless with nothing, or on the verge of realizing that they was gonna get something, and then the person feels like it got ripped out of their hand. That's why I came into this shit. You can go back to my videos earlier, with no intentions. And people say, well, that's ridiculous. Because I feel like when you go in with heavy intentions, your movements change. Now you got to have some intent in general, to drive and keep on going, so you can get the truth about what this is, that the messaging that you're getting through. But I said, what is it even worth if somebody has already split your entail with a bitch that's a thief? These are thieves. Most of these women in tarot, they were like these black women that was getting these boosters all the way up to these other women that was doing like these jewelry heists. It was a group of black women, I forgot what their names is or whatever, and some Caucasian people. It was people in general, but the faces of this in the media, that doesn't mean that's the reality. But what they show us in the media is there was a woman. She was like one of the coldest like robbers or something like this. Not no art galleries or nothing like this, but it was jewelry. You get what I'm saying? And then eventually they go on like this big old run with these big heists or whatever like this, robbery heist or something like this, and then they end up getting caught. But some of these people were in the lower working or mechanisms of this, because I'm telling you, it's like these people are stuck on earth. They just get better and better. But somebody was saying something about experience. Yeah, experience works in a system that you've been able to infiltrate over and over and over and learn like the back of your hand and see how you can take advantage of it. But if that system is blocked, chopped off, or you're cut off from that system, your experience ain't gonna mean shit. Because if a new king or a new sheriff is in town and they're clearing the path, I didn't say y'all, even the people, for a new something or a new build, that same shit that you was able to do, you're not able to do it anymore. And like I said, a lot of this stuff that we're dealing with is cyber. They're trying to make it like it's healthy. I know when these women are talking to y'all that they're talking about a lot of you that feel some kind of way because you was being introduced to, you could have always had these connections. I could be the only one that was just being introduced to it. So you could stop me if I'm wrong. All right. But somebody's normalizing somebody coming in and being a hovering energy, or you can even communicate with these things or these entities or this intel. Um, and then when they leave, you don't feel the same, or something is gone, or you know that somebody has taken from something from you or something like this, or they were bombarding you with all this shit. They're trying to normalize that. I don't know, it seems mentally ill to me, like somebody playing, I guess it's good that old adults can still keep their imagination, but if this is the imagination station that these people been running some old, tuck and whatever, his Huckleberry or whatever the fuck his name is, or some Peter Pan, something everlasting. Do you understand? Where these people was in the background ruling like children, doing childish shit, monitoring people like you would do like a slam book or a burn book or something like this in high school, playing with adult people's fucking lives that don't even deal with these people no more. That's off on their own thing, raising a family, and these people thought that they can infiltrate. But it's not even really, fuck your family, unless it's something beneficial. Your man is beneficial, your children or something like this. If you're a child of God, they can't really fucking touch you or move you, all right? That don't mean that you don't notice, or you're not afflicted by noticing that everything else did move from around you. All right? So it's bullying or something like this. It needs to be stopped. It leads to other things though too. If somebody want to stalk me or something like this, but your children are in the house, there's men that's weird, people that like to sit in the dark. They're awkward in public places. They don't like to speak in public, but they want to be in power. They don't want to be the center of attention. They don't like to stand in front of a podium and talk or something like this, but they want these positions. So what are they doing? They just make sure nobody can have those type of positions, or they'll just put up one thing in front of you, some robot or something, and tell you to watch it. But it's really these people that are running things that have this mindset. They can't even stand up when it's time unless they're sneaking or doing something in the dark. These are not leaders. These are moles or something like this. Now, of course, you should know whatever your component is doing, but you got to have a component first. Some of you were not who somebody was supposed to be warring against. So that means that this is not a war. That means that you guys did a heist, or we have to call it what the fuck it is so that the proper justice can be served. On a museum or a bank, you could be seen as a bank or a museum, or if we're talking nature, some kind of sacred thing, a sacred temple or stream, and people have been defiling it. I wonder if there's a woodpecker with that red head. He's new looking. I've never seen one of them over here. All right, and people are seamlessly getting away with it. It's just like, it's just something like that. So they think. The mark. The mark of Cain. Because we were thinking Cain killed Abel when he was able to do what? Rule the world. But what did Cain do? Killed the person out of jealousy or something. And then God gave him a mark. Or the Lord. We would have to go back and see who. Could this be word of gods on another level too? Because it's all in there. Where male gods have been doing this to a feminine god the whole time. Or women that was dressing up in men's clothing, doing this to women all the time. To America all the time, stripping her naked and humiliating her, walking away with all her treasures and leaving her blindfolded. And it's almost like so they've been able to siphon with those straws or those streams from the Ace of Cups and build up their societies in silence. And then and then sin, because I was reading about like a whole bunch of women in like Cambodia or somewhere in Asia that was doing these practices. They was in their own tribes with people that looked just like them, doing womb magic or They were doing stuff to weird to women's wombs and killing babies or something like this. And a large lump sum of them women ended up over here in America. So obviously somebody got these people taken or brought. They were kicked out from among their own people. These could be Hayokas from all over. They want to be reverend some kind of way, but Hayokas, like I said, from my understanding, these are people that was kicked out of the tribe because of doing cannibalistic things to the tribe or doing vampiristic things to their fellow tribemen. And women. They are maybe a little bit more intelligent or a little bit more tapped in. Why? I don't know. You have to, maybe these are people that was used in like CIA programs and shit like this, or something behind the scenes throughout the test of the time. But I told you, people be so mad, all up in their feelings and everything like this before they can actually listen to what the fuck I said, because I know I'm not saying nothing that don't make no fucking sense. And these days, it's not even really the black man or the white man. This is something about tech, energy versus originality, authenticity, something like this. Yes, you can have the perfect mix of both, but I really don't think that that's what's going on here. Okay? They're tempted to touch something that they should not be fucking with. That could be you, that could be me, that could be your child, whatever this is. They've done it. All right? This could be somebody convincing somebody, well, none of us can go over there, but we know through the test of time, many people been told not to do something and they did it anyways, and that's how some of you motherfuckers is here. I think I was watching a short about like one of them witch shows or whatever with Piper or whatever, and they were like, no. They were like, oh yeah, this might be your long lost sister, because back then, white something witches, candle something witches could mix with these particular type of witches and something like this, and so it was forbidden or something like this. So you could be a product of something like this, or like I said, you could be a product of a royal that was in a whole situation and got pregnant with you immaculately, and then when you came out, it's like, what's going on? This baby too dark to be mine. You gotta put that damn baby over there. So somebody knew that something odd was going on with some of these higher level wombs. The king about to kill, bitch, a queen could lose her life just cause. And we gotta be done with those days. Cause eventually, and I told you, anytime a man go get other women, maybe that didn't work. People like, we like this bitch. Hold on, you lied to us or whatever, or we didn't know that we were split. These could be a whole bunch of people that didn't even know anything about splitting, or they're the originators of splitting, but they didn't know that this man learned how to split too, and one night split all them or split them, and then hid one part of their life and another part. And so, if somebody from the other side that we've been watching, how the hell she know that we would have to be split for her to know that? And somebody could be being challenged on something right now. Do you understand? Or they should be. But anytime many men, because I noticed that the girls is like stepping back a little bit, but I noticed that today when I went on my feed, it's a lot of men like, oh, you can't be like this, and this could be this Kevin Samuels energy, cease and desist on that bullshit, okay? But a lot of stuff, like, you can't be a crown, whatever, queen, blah, blah, blah. You got 3 kids, you got an attitude problem, that's any motherfucking body in the world. Somebody's feelings is hurt about a union or something like this. Somebody lied to these men like they was connected to a certain person, and they were not. And you need to go back and talk to that bitch. Don't be mad at the woman that didn't know that you existed. Or go to that man that tried to make you think that was going to happen. Because like, even when I was talking about earlier, like if this was a situation right here where like I've always been like not like a watcher, but I've just always been very fucking observant. Even as a child, I think people did not like me around. My eyes kind of light up like a cat sometimes, bitch. I don't know. People just be, because I just be there. I just be not in no weird ass way. I try to stay out of the way when I was a child. You know what I'm saying? But I couldn't help always interpreting, like, why is somebody said those words, God? Why you always got an echo in my brain? You know what I'm saying? About what that person really was saying when they said that. So I just learned how to read people a long time ago. Like, I don't just read no fucking cards. All right? This be also why when you go through these retreating moments, that's the best time for these people to amp up, because, you know, maybe they even thought you would have been back around them by now. Off your shit. Girl, you off that shit again or something like this. But now somebody feel like you done went to the internet. And, you know what I'm saying? Bitch, you went behind my back for even a moment. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? You'll be back, and then you'll be around these people or something. And if you did wake up within the next year or two, if you didn't wake up, they'll still be your friends, smiling in your face and everything. And they got all your money in their bank accounts, and they sitting pretty. Right? Or, whole court case that went on, they knew that wasn't you. They took another cousin and put a wig on like yours on your driver's license and sent that bitch in there. They knew that they was keeping you busy and occupied over here with parties and stuff like this, while a whole court case is going on behind your fucking back. You get what I'm saying? And then when you wake up to it a little bit, or one of your kids come back from a cousin house and be like, they was over there talking about some bank account. I don't know, I accidentally heard it. You get what I'm saying? These motherfuckers want your kids over their house in the first place because they'll be talking about this shit. Or your children might even be chipped. A lot of people don't know if your children is chipped or not, or they didn't know if your children was chipped. That's why they just got rid of some of the children and just cloned them. This is a serious fucking thing. I mean, I don't know why nobody else don't talk about it. No, you don't win. Not the fuck this time. There's people held hostage. I hope you know. And when we talk about real shit on here, it gives them a little bit of faith. Instead of talking about these love taps and these love stories, when these bitches know that they was hiring these men or charging. And I was surprised to see what charge means. When they were charging these men up to go and do certain things to certain people. Do I think that somebody used programming to have people in my family leave doors open so I could be violated? Yes. Including the spouse? Yes. Do I think somebody that's supposed to be a spouse or a clone of theirs or something knows that I've been violated or something? Yes. Do they care? No. Any man, if they knew that you was being violated like that, and like say that they made your cousin, somebody that was dealing with you or on your team or working with you or one of yours, they got mad at you one time. They didn't just go against you because they got mad at you one time. They always wanted something from you, always wanted your good. They knew what their family knew about you, but once they got with that cousin or that friend that wanted what you had or didn't really fuck with you like that, that was just a whole full out thing to go in with the pillow talking and shit and what they should do. And they just high on love or like together because they're being able to get over on you. And they'll send their tarot readers tell you remember who you are, but they don't even remember who they are, or they do, and you still fucked up. You get what I'm saying? So I be looking at people's shit like real different. Romanticizing this shit, like people when you give ear or when those energies around, they're not just, my ancestors is here, they saying this and that, and then you see these girls a year later, 2 years. It's almost like how somebody be like on a hike and something or whatever, y'all be kicking it at somebody's house, and then 3 years later you like, remember Victor that used to come over here all the time when we was having them barbecues at Stacy's house? I just seen that nigga on the street. He looked bad. I don't know he on drugs, bitch. I don't know. But he used to be cool as hell. I felt so bad when I seen him on the streets or whatever. So when I look at tarot, even readers, some of the readers that I was looking at like 4 years ago or something like this, 5 years ago or something like this, I ran across their channel and there's something about their presence, maybe even knowing somebody in a past life or in this life, and they're disguising themselves, whatever the fuck y'all doing. And I'd be listening to these people and I'd be like, dang. Like sometimes I'd be thinking my actions, because I used to always be like a little bit on the go before. But it's a difference when you hear it in somebody's voice. Something has been taken. Or they disappear for like 6 months or whatever and come back, and you could tell when they open up their mouth that something's been taken. So the people that's doing what they say, there's thinkers and doers. The people that are doing these things or going out of their way to harm other people or steal or rob or pillage or take from other people, maybe you don't see it that way. These are the people that will tell you that you don't give a fuck because of what you said about black people. But I bet you it's one or two people that take something from some of the messages when I told people about themselves in a collective that look at shit a little bit different. It might ring in their ear until it click and be like, I see what the fuck this person was trying to say. For real. Okay, y'all, I forgot I gotta go. It's almost time for the child. I'll be back. I don't want to be late.